All right. Greetings, whoever might be watching this ayahuasca testimonial. I have with me today David. He just came to his first ceremony with Taita not that long ago. He's been in the educational world for many years, actually just stepping into retirement and a change of profession. But he recently, about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, had his first experience. So I asked him to interview with me to give some sort of understanding to people that might be looking to step into this kind of this healing journey, this medicine. Sometimes having an interview with someone that you can relate to really helps in the process. So thank you, David, for being with me.
Yeah, no problem, Michael. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great, man. So I'm always blessed because sometimes I interview people and I actually was able to be in ceremony with you and actually watch your process. And I got to know you a little bit before you came. So we have, I really got to watch you all weekend long. But
Right.
really, just for the viewers that are watching, I always think a really good place to start is, what brought you to wanting to step into trying ayahuasca?
Well, Michael, that's a great question. And I really think it comes down to I was stuck. I really was stuck in life. I I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. I was coming close to the end of my educational career, which is the end of this June. And after doing something for 24 years,
Mm,
um, and I was looking for something new, looking for something different. So
mm,
I did start on a journey 2 years ago as a licensed massage therapist and got my license 2 years ago. However, I was still finding myself stuck, um, just unhappy, not happy with a lot of things in my life. And I felt like I needed something to reset me
mm.
and to get me out of that unstuck, get me out of that stuck mode that I was in and I was finding myself in every day. And I, I really truly believe that this has really helped in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it can just help release and move so much stuck energy in our life, and that we just allow that river to flow out of ceremony into our life. It's really interesting, the words you use like stuck and things like that, because I think a lot of people can relate to that. But did you hear about ayahuasca through me, or did you hear about it through somebody else?
Well, I actually, before I met you, Michael, I did hear about ayahuasca
Okay,
just through podcasts I was listening to.
right.
However, when I met you and we started talking about what you do, I was obviously intrigued, and reached out to you several times, wanting to do it, and then I backed out, and then I wanted to do it, and then I backed out, and I finally committed, and I'm so thankful that I did. Um,
Yeah, I know. I'm,
so I
I'm,
didn't
I'm
know.
glad. I'm glad he didn't back out on that one.
Yes, I know. I was coming close again, but thank you so much for your support.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's very natural, and sometimes people have to back out for very legitimate reasons. But I
right.
kind of got to know you a little bit already, and I kind of was like, so every now and then I kind of know just the one to poke people back the other way, um,
Yes.
because it's a very normal thing to the closer you get, it's you kind of feel this build up inside, and you just want to be like, oh, I'll go to the next one, or I just can't do it. It's just so much easier to take that
Yes.
route. So.
Yes. Yes. But I'm so glad.
Very good. And so just overall, how did the medicine help you in with the things that you just were talking about?
Well, I would tell you this. I really loved our post meeting we had
Mm,
with everybody in the ceremony, where you spent almost close to 2 hours with everybody, and that really sort of aligned things for me and set things in stone for me, and
mm,
solidified some things that I was thinking and didn't really know how to put to words.
yeah.
So really, it's really been a blessing for me now because it really has opened up a lot of things in my life. In fact, just yesterday, I signed a lease on a property for my massage business.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah. So I mean, this things moved this past week. Well, actually, last week too. Things have just moved. You talk about that creative process. And that creative process just came to the forefront, and I and things that I really wanted to have happen.
Mm,
And I just, like you said, I flowed with it. I trusted with it, and I just went with it, and now here I am. And I'm on to a new journey in my life, and it's incredible.
Mm, that's beautiful. That's awesome, man. So
Yeah.
you're gonna start your own shop.
Yes,
Oh, very cool.
in July, sometime in the beginning of
Awesome.
July.
Awesome. And in terms of the stuck feeling, like you said that there were a lot of things that were kind of hard to articulate, coming into that. When you were in that space, like before you were able to articulate, what were some of the feelings that you were going through? Because I found a lot of times it's all about the feelings, and we're
Right.
not used to articulating our feelings. So a lot of times we're feeling a lot of things, and then when we're able to like really focus on them and bring them into words. So I was just gonna, how did ayahuasca work with you in terms of that and actually freeing this stuck feeling and kind of your overall process?
Well, what it did is it certainly helped me to just feel what I was feeling and not suppress it.
Mm,
It allowed me to really express my emotions. It allowed me to express who I am,
mm,
and it brought that to the forefront. And really, one big thing that really helped me throughout all of this, which I knew before, but I really was not able to put it into practice every day, is to be present.
mm,
And that was such a huge thing for me that I wasn't doing. I was anxiety ridden, and I was just thinking about the future and thinking about the past, and I
mm,
wasn't in that present moment that I
mm,
know that I should have been. And ayahuasca helped me to find that again
mm.
and bring it into my life on a daily basis. And again, it's a practice. It's a daily practice, right? It really is a daily practice. But this has really kind of jump started me. Like I said, it's given me a reset,
Ah,
um, and it's allowed me to just to feel my body and feel my feelings, and allow me to express those rather
mm,
than just keep them down.
mm.
So yeah, it's truly amazing. I mean, people after the ceremony would ask me, my family, right? They would ask me, how was it? Um, but I think the important question is, and one of our members on our ceremony said this: why? Why is it? Why are you doing it? That type of thing. And that was an important thing for me to express as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That kind of was the segue into kind of what I was kind of like question that pawn while you were saying all that was like, has your family kind of noticed a difference with you in your life?
Yes, they have. Yes, particularly my mother. That was interesting. Certainly my wife when I came home, and then as the weeks kind of unfolded, I've been with friends as well who have expressed the same thing and said to me,
Mm,
"Wow, what's changed?"
mm,
So that to me is very important, and they can see it in my face. They can just see how
yeah.
I am much more expressive. I'm not just holding on to things anymore. I'm letting things go, moving past me. Um, just like you said, when we started today, we had some difficulties with the studio setup and so
Hmm.
on, right? And here we are with Zoom, and we made it work.
Just
You
flow,
know,
right?
the old me would have just said, "That's it. I'm not doing it." You get frustrated and everything, but yeah, we're just flowing with it and we're doing it.
Ah,
So
very good. Very good. And for anyone who's listening, just some everything that kind of we're talking about this flow, one of the main things that you'll learn in ceremony is the only way to make it through your process is to surrender into the flow. It's a huge lesson that we take away from ayahuasca and we bring into our life, just like David's talking about.
well, it's a,
So,
it's a great point. You mentioned that too. If you don't mind, I could just share
no, please.
my brief story here that really
Yeah.
connected with me, the flow piece. And Taita said this uh, in the midst of our ceremony on Saturday, the last time,
Mm-hmm.
after the first cup, and I was really just looking around, right? Looking. I was using my eyes, and I was looking everywhere, and I was looking. I even looked at you, and I looked at Taita. I looked at everybody, looking, saying, "Is someone going to help me? Work with me? Let's, do something." And all of a sudden, Taita said, "Don't look at me. Close your eyes. Look inward." And that I'll never forget. That was the most amazing thing. I close my eyes, I look inward, and then here it goes. Everything just flowed, and I just felt everything just releasing.
Mm,
And that was the most amazing, beautiful thing that I've ever experienced in my life.
mm,
And that was a moment where that process began for
mm.
me, because I
And
was really fighting.
have you felt a difference in your body, like your physical body?
Yes. What's interesting is the day after the ceremony, on the Sunday, then waking up, I had no pain in my body
Mm,
whatsoever. No pain. My mind was clear. My body. I usually wake up with aches and pains and little things, but I was able to stand without issues with my back. No problem at all. I
because
just felt.
you look like you lift, or you used to lift weights. I mean, I met you in yoga, so like sometimes when when we have that muscle build on, like I used to have a lot of that in
Yes,
that muscle is a lot of pain and emotion that we just kind of built into ourself, and the medicine just starts to unwind all that.
I really felt that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I felt that a lot in my body. Just the unwinding. That's a great. Use of words there. And I felt I had no knots in my stomach anymore. I mean, my stomach was completely.
Mm,
It was just, hey, get this knots, and I've had that issue for many, many years, and all of a sudden it's just gone,
mm.
and
Well,
it
did you have
continues to
some
be
good
gone.
purges?
I did, but I don't think as many or as intense as I thought they were going to be. But they
Mm.
were good purges. I think I know that I did well for 2 hours. I did.
So
You
many
know,
people are always scared of, they say, "Oh, I'm so scared of throwing up." So I try to always like talk to people about when you are purging, you know exactly what it is you're purging, and it is so feeling freeing and healing, and you are so thankful for it. And it's nothing like being sick, um, that kind of we can be used to as human beings. It is a cleansing, you know?
yeah. Yes, and I felt that. And many people said, and as you said as well, purging can be, crying. Purging can be
Mm-hmm.
throwing up. Purging can be yawning repeatedly, right? So
Laughter too. That's a big
that,
one.
and I heard a lot of that as well from
Yeah.
during
Yeah,
the
we had a
ceremony.
couple laughter people in our group that weekend.
That was fun. That really was fun to experience that piece, that laughter piece,
Mm,
and letting go.
very
That was really
good.
neat.
So, for those that are listening, in Taita ceremonies, you either have 2 or 3 nights of, or maybe sometimes or even day ceremonies, and then there's Olympia at the end, where Taita will go through each individual process, or each individual person, and it's kind of a fully like putting yourself back together. It's like a closure for the weekend, energetically and emotionally, and you just feel kind of like it's a very grounding thing. And then that is always done after the ceremony. So kind of one of the last things that we can dive into, I just always am curious, like what did you feel during that Olympia process, kind of with that whole weekend under your belt, waking up, and then or we did it at night. I forget when we did it with your group. So what was that like?
Yeah, yeah. We did it early Sunday morning. I think 2 a.m. maybe,
Mm.
3 a.m. maybe. I think something like that. I will tell you this: the one word that comes to mind is love.
Mm.
Um, in that circle, going through the ceremony, I didn't know what to expect, of course, and that was a beautiful time to be able to be with everybody, and everybody being able to share their feelings, share their thoughts. And Taita's words are just beautiful. I mean, the words that he spoke, it was like he was speaking to each of us individually, and it was coming through. As he's speaking to 35 of us or more, I'm feeling like he's speaking directly to me, and I'm
Yeah.
feeling like, he gets me, right? And I'm, wow. And then I'm just feeling everybody just coming together, of course, and this
Mm.
that whole process unfolding was just, he put everything into words, which is really wonderful to hear.
Yes.
And then the ceremonial pieces that he did as well with each of us as well, throughout that process was just fascinating to me. And
Awesome.
I felt like this is where I was supposed to be. This this was a great way. That's a great way to wrap it up too, and to leave with some tangible things.
Yeah, he always
And
kind
then
of
we got
just makes the simplistic nature when he kind of that he speaks into really helps ground you.
yes, and I have to mention the music as well, because if I don't mention the music, I mean, the music was this the first time we've done the music?
I've had musicians, but the guy that I flew out for that retreat, he's a musician from California, and he's in a lot of ceremonies with Taita. So like, and then the two girls, they're really good too. And then our next retreat, I'm gonna have Eloy again and this guy Gil come out, and they play together all the time out on the West Coast. But I'm flying them both out here, and he's more of an indigenous guy, like he sings indigenous Hunakkuan music, but together they jam like really good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was amazing. The music was amazing.
it'll be a good time. Well, David, I really appreciate your time, my man. And
Yeah.
I always love hearing all this again. I heard things, on a
Hmm.
deeper level from you and everything. So what can you say about all this process? And if you were speaking to somebody that has never drank the medicine before, just something to bring all this into a closure.
I would say if you have never done it and you're thinking about doing it, I would just say if you're thinking about if you're thinking about it, that means you want to do it. So
Yes.
in my mind, just do it. Here it is. You're in Oxville. I mean, it's so close.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many other ceremonies as well around the nation that are. So if you want to fly out somewhere else, but I think just do it, because it's going to, number one, you're going to experience something you've never experienced in your life before, and it's really going to help reset you, help get you on a path of recovery in life, wherever stage of life you're in. It's going to help you down that path, a new path, and a clearer path as well.
Yes.
So,
one of the best things is the clarity.
yes. Oh my gosh, yes, it is. So you have to do it.
All right. Yeah. Don't let the fear win, right?
That's right. Don't let it win. Don't let it win.
Don't let it win. Well, thank you very much, David. And whoever here is watching this video is made for you. And if there's any ever questions, just simply reach out to me or whoever this video may find, comment. We're very easy to get a hold of me in the organization. Well, it's Taita's organization, so he is all over the United States. And if you need to get a hold of any of us organizers or anything like that, we are very easy to get a hold of. So many blessings, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.